Stopped this little gray fox this morning, sneaking around my duck pen. So I figured I'd show you how to skin it out, or the way I do it, so you can do it by yourself next time. And I'm not gonna do it like a taxidermist or a fur trader. I'm just gonna skin it out and then split it down the middle so I can use it for a garment or something later. But I'm not gonna save the feet either. I'm just gonna start basically right below this first leg joint and go from there. So you just want to go all the way around the leg, and you don't want to cut too deep or you'll cut the tendon that holds the whole thing on, and then it will just be all floppy and annoying. Man, these things are made out of nothing. So you do that on both legs technically, and then you split down the inside right here, down the inside, kind of follow that leg bone. Usually I have both legs up, but it's kind of hard in here. So I'm just gonna take my time. Keep on splitting it. Kind of parting the hair a little bit so I don't cut all the fur. Get in there. It's pretty close. Pull this one down here. Just using some old mechanics wire. And give it a couple wraps. Twist it around itself and it stays up fine. These little tiny 10-pound animals. And the other leg, same way. Ugh. And split it down the middle. Ish. This fur is really long in December. Okay. So once you get it split from your leg cut to your leg cut, and then you split down through there, you gotta trace up to the tail here, and you gotta go around the vent, which is right there. So I kind of just start going up till I find it, and then I go on either side of it a little bit. Man, the fur is so long on this little guy. It's hard to find it. There's the vent right there, which is slang for the butthole. And then I go on either side of it. Like he's got big mats in his fur right there. You have to split the tail a little bit. So I grab the tail with one. You gotta be careful you don't cut yourself. And you basically go up the tailbone towards the vent. You don't have to go crazy with this part because you'll use a tail to pull the tailbone out. You just use a tail splitter, but get it right to the vent. I don't know if you can see that. And then either side. Alright, so kind of did a hack job in there, hitting the thigh, but as you can see, you just work it towards the tail. You leave that little bit around the vent, you expose the bottom of the tail like that. You can keep working this back as far as you want, but we'll do that a little bit more right now. Keep working the skin off the legs here. Man, it's a stinky little fella too. Once you get it separated from the leg, you can usually just pull the hide. These foxes have such thin skin that they pull pretty easy, like that. So you can just start skin right off of them. But you gotta get it separated up here first with a knife. There's a little tendon right here that really locks onto the fur. But I cannot keep it from spinning. It's right there. Then it will pull down pretty easy if you can get a hold of it. Like this. Alright, I'm gonna put this other leg back up. It might make it a little easier for me. Maybe. Of course, I have my actual skin and pole, game pole outside, but it's 6 degrees out today, so I don't feel like being up there. Okay, let's get this belly fat off here. I'm not worried about getting all the fat and meat off the hide either, because it'll flush fine. Alright, so this part you can see right here where the tail goes into the legs, basically. You want to get a little void there, and you can just poke your finger through on these on a coon or something. They don't come off nearly as easy. But get your finger through underneath the tail like that. You can see there's the tailbone, there's the back of the fox. Get your finger through the tail. You can split the tail on the bone as far as you dare to, but it starts getting difficult. You don't want to cut your finger like that. So then once it gets there, you buy this nifty little tail puller for $6 on Amazon. Get it clamped around there. Hold up with one hand, down with the other, and my wires are going to come off. Uh-oh. Take two. Let me retie my wire. Alright, I'm going to retie these wires a little better. And then try that again. So we get the tail puller on there. Hold up with one hand and pull down with the other. Once it starts to go, it goes easy. But you gotta get it started. Down here. There it goes. And that'll strip the whole tailbone out of the inside of the tail. Now, we saved that whole nice tail. Now, this thing starts coming apart easy. You really just lean on it. Sometimes when these legs are rigor mortis, you have to loosen them back up so that the tube will come down. Sometimes it starts climbing up like that. Cut that little bit there. Just trace around on the belly. That should go the rest of the way. Just about. These legs are stiff and are in the way. I'm not too worried about, I'm not even planning on saving the face. Normally you would just keep pulling this down and trimming around the head. But I'm not gonna, because I don't want the face on for anything. So I'm just gonna use it to make a hat or something. Uh-oh, I cut through that. Put a little nick in it right there. I don't want to do that. Just about there now. I'll take it down a little more. Usually I have it so I can pull like this outside. That's much easier. Alright, so there's the front legs. Right there. Work around just nice and easy. you can see all these black dots right here. This is the back of the neck, shoulder area. Those are all tick bites. Every one of those dots is a tick bite. So you do the same thing you do with the tail. You just drive your finger through there between kind of in the armpit. Take your thumb and just work it through the armpit till you get it to here. If you're doing paws on, you'd have to keep working these down, 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 down. But I'm not gonna, so I'm gonna just cut these right here. I'm gonna cut the other one, same spot. I'm going just for like a usable piece of fur, not a perfectly tubed out fox. Now those will slip right off. The legs, head, there can be some stubborn spots. So you gotta get a little bit of help, unless you really want to pull on it. Getting stuck on the ears, I would say. So let's keep working it a little bit with the knife. And under the neck, chin area right here. Alright. See if I can break my skin. Now I got leg holes I can get in there. So that's about to the ears, which is actually as far as I'm gonna need it. You would just keep pulling down and trimming like this till the whole head was exposed, but I don't want the head on there, so I'm just gonna cut it off right here. So you work, that's the fur, you just cut it off all the way around. And then I could have probably got, yeah, I could have got another 1.5 inches of nice fur, but whatever. That's the whole thing. I'm gonna let it freeze. I find that if you let these things freeze and then thaw out once, this fleshing goes way easier. All that fat and meat will come off like nothing. But that's the whole thing without the head. And you can do the head on and legs on, but I'm not gonna use it in any way where I would need that. I'm gonna end up splitting it right up through the middle of the belly and tacking it out into a wide piece. But that's pretty much it. Now I get this stinky thing out of the shop. So yeah, I like to stick just the pelt down in this crate, close it up, keep the dogs out of it, but I'll let it sit out here in the 10 degrees and 10 degrees or less for 3 or 4 days. So it freezes solid. It makes it easier to flush it once you thaw it back out, and also if there's any fleas or ticks on there, if you leave it for 3 days to a week frozen solid, it kills most of them, if not all of them. So yeah, it'll sit there till I'm ready to tan the thing, I guess.